Was the economy better during the Trump administration, or is it better now? That's what they need to ask her.
New jobs, over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs.
Come on, fam.
We have the lowest black unemployment rate in generations. We have invested in small businesses, and they're to the benefit of many people, but including black small businesses, some of the highest rate of creation of new black small businesses in years. We have done the work of capping the cost of prescription medication for our seniors for issues like insulin. And again,
she's not answering the question.
Journalists who care about all people, but in particular, I'll talk about the impact on black people, where we know black folks are 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes. And we have now finally capped the cost of insulin for our seniors at $35 a month, capped the cost of...
Dog, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? This woman must have been playing Frogger when she came up, when she was born.
Well, let me explain to you what she's talking about, Anton Daniels, since you can't seem to grasp what better off means. She is saying that these people who were paying $2,000 and $3,000 for their insulin now only have to pay $35. It's capped at $35. So are they better off 4 years ago when they were paying $2,000 and $3,000 for their insulin? Today they're only paying $35. Are they better off, Anton Daniels? Yes. That's another way that you can be better off than you were 4 years ago without getting the bag, Anton Daniels.
Absolutely was a master at Mario Brothers. 100% is a Smash Bros legend. And I ain't talking about that Smash Bros. I'm talking about the one, Link and all of that, all of that. Pikachu. Had to be great at what it is that she do in video games, because this woman can Need for Speed Most Wanted legend, because the way that she dodged questions is impeccable.
Anton Daniels, she's answering the question. Your mind is thinking money. That the only way you can be better off is this: if you're getting the bag, if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's your mindset, Anton Daniels. As are you better off than you were 4 years ago? But there are many people here in the United States, Anton Daniels, that are better off having to pay only $35 a month rather than $2,000, and $3,000 a month. So are they better off? Yes.
And she doing the same. It's the same question that was asked. The very first question that's asked to her during debate. She had some time to think about it. She still didn't answer it, and she's not answering it now. What the hell does black people getting diabetes have to do with the economy?
Okay, again, it wasn't a question about the economy per se, Anton Daniels. The question was, are people better off today than they were 4 years ago? And if you're on insulin, if you need insulin, and if you were paying $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month for your insulin 4 years ago, and you're only paying $35 for it now, you're better off. And not only that, but then if you want to bring it into a money thing, Anton Daniels, it's better to pay $35 than $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000.
Prescription medication for our seniors at $2,000 a year, because we, unlike the former president who promised to do it, we finally have allowed Medicare to negotiate drug prices against the big pharmaceutical companies.
We're gonna get there.
And these are just some of the accomplishments. Is the price of groceries still too high? Yes. Do we have more work to do? Yes. And I will tell you, I do believe that I offer a new generation of leadership for our country that is about, in particular, turning the page on an era that sadly has shown us attempts by some to incite fear, to create division in our country, and to do the work that is about bringing some level of optimism and, dare I say, ambition about what I know is possible in our country. And so my plan for the economy includes what...
Are we better? Do y'all hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Are we...
Anton Daniels, are you hearing? Well, you're not hearing the words coming out of my mouth yet. If you watch this video, you will hear the words that are coming out of my mouth again. You can be better off than you were 4 years ago, Anton Daniels, without getting the bag. Again, if you're paying $35 a month for insulin rather than $1,000 a month for insulin, you're better off.
Better off today than we were when Donald Trump was in office. The 4 years that he was in office, was it awesome? Absolutely. A lot of us got super rich as a result of it, and a lot of us ran up a bag.
See, that's the only thing Anton Daniels can see as being better off. He just said it himself. A lot of people got rich, and a lot of people ran up the bag. That's the only thing he can see. See, because I guess maybe he's not ill, and maybe people in his family are not ill, and so they're not feeling the effects of having to pay $2,000 and $3,000 a month, $2,000 or $3,000 a month for insulin.
The last 3.5 years, what have you experienced? Are you better off today than you was 3.5 years ago? No. Overwhelmingly, most people are not.
Overwhelmingly, Anton Daniels, most people are. The elderly is better off than they were 4 years ago. People who have illnesses are better off than they were 4 years ago. So no, overwhelmingly, Anton Daniels, people here in America are better off today than they were 4 years ago under Yo Massa, Donald Trump.
What are we talking about, bruh?
What I imagine and believe and call an opportunity economy. What we can do to grow an opportunity economy where all people have access to the resources to compete, to apply their incredible work ethic, their ambition, their aspirations, and their dreams, and actually not just get by, but get ahead. And I can talk in more detail about it, but specifically, I'll mention a few things. Yeah. One of the big issues that affects people right now in terms of the economy and their economic well-being is we have a shortage of housing supply. It's too...
Crime is up. In Springfield, Ohio, roughly 142%.
That's a bold-faced lie. Crime is down. And what is crime, Anton Daniels, since you so butthurt about Kamala Harris's answer to the question, what does crime having to do with economics?
Groceries. The cost of groceries for y'all is up exponentially. You
hear what he said, you guys. Y'all. The price of groceries has gone up exponentially, he said. But the reason for that, Anton Daniels, Mr. Businessman, is because of the pandemic that Donald Trump failed at. Once the pandemic hit, there was major price gouging with all of these corporations. That's how they got to the bag. Anton Daniels, I'm not sure what your business are or your businesses are, but that's how grocery stores and gas stations and people who own apartment complexes or people who are renting out their homes, that's how they came into the bag, Anton Daniels, because they raised the price on everything. It had nothing to do with Kamala Harris or Biden. Prices are up because these greedy motherfuckers like yourself who think money is the end all be all, raised prices. That's why Kamala Harris, one of her policies is going to be to go after these companies who are out here price gouging, and all of these people who are renting these homes and apartment complexes who raised the rents and the mortgages. That's how they came into the bag. Anton Daniels.
You see how red my eyes are? Gas is high.
Yeah, they're going to be a whole lot redder come November when everybody's calling Kamala Harris Madam President.
And out of control. Interest rates is absolutely crazy. We are suffering at the highest levels since the 2008 crash. The only people that's getting
So again, Anton Daniels, it's because of the pandemic. The pandemic changed everything. It changed the way people like yourself, who was out there price gouging people, your fellow citizens. It was amazing to watch how like Trump said, some bacon went from $1.89 up to $5. It was amazing how these stores raised the price on water, on toilet tissue, on food, on the necessities people needed because Trump was locking everything. Everything was being locked down. People were staying home. People were not going to work like they used to. People were not buying gasoline like they used to because they weren't traveling as much because everything was shut down, Anton Daniels. So the gas stations, these stores, again, people who, their rent and their mortgage went up after the pandemic ended. But during the pandemic, gasoline stations and stores raised their prices, and they didn't bring them back after the pandemic was over with. They kept the prices still where they were at. If you were buying bacon for $1.89 and they raised it up to $5, you're still paying that today, if not more.
Getting rich as politicians. The only people that's guaranteed, listen, property taxes in Chicago is up for some people by 86%. Y'all just gonna sit here and let her get away with this and let her work?
Okay, anyway, again, Anton, that's the reason why. It has nothing to do with Biden or Kamala. Definitely has nothing to do with Kamala. Kamala is the vice president. She doesn't make policy. She doesn't do that. And in fact, in America, the vice president really is just a figurehead. They really don't have any such special powers. Not to where it has anything to do with policy. But you should know that, Anton Daniels. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave the link to this dude's video if you want to go check it out, because I kind of explained everything that I can here in this video about what's going on with what Kamala Harris is saying. She answered the question about are people better off than they were 4 years ago. She answered it beautifully. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for coming back to the Black Only News and Entertainment Network. Peace, take care, and be safe. And if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. Peace, take care.